don't like that double click on these pedals. I have a different loop myself, and it basically I only have to use one click, but you guys are better at it than I am, I'm sure. Hi guys, this is 2020 now that we're in. A little bit somber period at the moment, probably right across Australia, unfortunately, because of all the incredibly devastating and horrendous fires that are happening all over the place. I know that I have relatives that are stuck in Bateman's Bay, and yeah, I just hope everybody out there is safe. And it's very, very sad to think that so many people have, lost their lives, their homes, their livelihoods. It's incredible to think how many people are looking after them and all of that sort of stuff. And we should play more music if we can. For some of us, that's maybe what we can do the best. Anyway, as I said, big shout out to everybody. Welcome to 2020. Welcome to the live Facebook posts. Today I was actually going to use an LP59, a Cherry Sunburst, and I was wandering around in the showroom and I happened to come across a forlorn-looking LP60, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to use the LP60 today. It needed a new set of strings, so I put a new set of strings on it, and I thought I'd just roll it out today. Basically, there's not much to talk about where these are concerned. They're just all where they need to be. Price is $269, and basically this particular one's got a lovely bit of curly maple on it. This would be a laminated top. You've got your standard LP style setup with your two humbuckers. There's no bells and whistles with this particular one. It's exactly as it should be as far as I'm concerned anyway. What do we got here? We've got the tailpiece, standard. Bridge, standard. And what if you, just as a tip guys, if your bridges are turned around the other way so that the screws that you turn, which is for your intonation, are on this side, on the tailpiece side, it's not a bad idea to turn them around the other way. You'll get a little bit more play out of each one of these individual saddles. What do we have here? Nice cherry. This is a good cherry sunburst. Maple neck. Standard machine heads, 14:1. I love things that don't give me too much dilemma, and a 14:1 setup doesn't give me too much dilemma. Of course, with a guitar that you're spending $269 on, I want to talk about some of the things, once again, that you can always consider doing to them to make them great. They're great already, but they can be a hell of a lot better if you want them to be. For example, you can basically put a better quality set of machine heads on. You might also decide that you want to part the pickups out. A lot of people don't, and they actually say quite strongly that, as far as they're concerned, they sound great and that's all there is to it. All right, well, that's entirely up to you. I certainly love playing around with different pickups, but when you own a lot of instruments, I suppose you've always got opportunities and to try different things in different instruments, whether it's a Tele, a Strat, an LP, 335. I'd have to say that I got so many different pickups in so many different things. All right, Eco Rosewood board, and these are the block inlays that are the crown style, as you'll see there. The thing plays really well, but let me talk a little bit about what I did with it before I started today, because I had a customer come into the showroom today, and I thought I'd take advantage of it. So shout out to you, John, if you're around. Oh, by the way, I also want to say a really quick and heartfelt g'day to Dingo McTaggart. Dingo buys a lot of stuff off us. He's a little infirm, never complains. We had a lovely conversation on the phone the other day for quite a long time. He actually gets instruments from us and then he sets them up to give them to young students. And he even allows the young students to come into his bedroom, which is essentially because he's bedbound most of the time. And he shows them how to set up their instruments before he sends them on their way with a fantastic instrument and a big smile on their face. So hello to Dingo and to all those other brilliant humans out there, and there are so many, I know there are. Okay, so what I've done with this today, because of John came in and he had a tuning issue. And he said to me, I bought this great Cherry 58 off you guys. And I have to say it was a lovely, lovely guitar, but it was out of tune. And when I played, I could hear that it was out of tune, but I had a feeling I knew what the problem was. So one of the things that people don't do when they tune their instrument, all right, well, there's a couple of things I've done first of all. Never a bad idea to have a tuner on hand. Don't think your guitar is is in tune for a week. You need to tune it every time you play it, and sometimes more than that, depending on the weather and the climate and how hot and humid it is and all those sorts of things. Okay. First thing I've got is this magic little thing here, Will, if you can just show me, you can see what I'm doing there. This is fretboard oil, and it's lemon oil. This is made by Diodario. I think they're about $12 a bottle, but a bottle like this will last you for a long, long time. You put a little bit on your rag, and I don't like a lot of those rags that they sell as gimmicks, by the way. Your good old Bonds t-shirt, once it's worn out and you can no longer wear it, that's good enough. It's a soft cotton rag and it doesn't leave lint and stuff on your strings or your board. You put a little bit on there and you've got your strings off and you rub it into the Eco board. This is an Eco rosewood board. It just helps to take a little bit of the grit out of it for a little while the thing is settling down. Just a little bit. It'll dry in and everything will be sweet. Okay, so soft cotton rag, your Diodario lemon oil, or any lemon oil, if you can get a hold of it. Even orange oil is not a bad option either. Not all the time with the orange oil, but it's not bad at all. Okay, so then once I've done that, essentially when I put my strings back on, my new set of strings, and I'm using our EAN 10 to 46 strings, which are a really good quality string that is made for artists by an extremely reputable and not to be named string company. But I can tell you that they are the go, and this is the ones that are on this particular guitar. And I think they're going for around about $9 a pop. We had a great deal on Diodario strings there for a while, but unfortunately that is now finished. We can't get any more of those boxes. I hope you got your box while they're out. All right, so essentially what I do is now I'm going to work on how to get this string staying in tune. As I said before, John had a problem with it. Now what the problem was that at this end, where the ball is on his end of his string, the ball end goes in a figure 8. Now the figure 8 goes around the bottom of the string. So as the string sort of tensions out, that figure 8 stretches out. And it took me, when I started tugging on the string, and this is how I do it, guys, I actually put my fingers over here and I give the string a decent tug without breaking it, of course. But what I'm trying to do is get any tension out of the ball end of the string so that essentially we got no dramas. So then what I do is I retune the instrument, and I can do this 4, 5, 6 times. These strings, by the way, were put on literally 5 minutes before we go to air, and I've done exactly what I always do. When you get so used to having to string late before you leave for a gig, as I do, because I'm always late, and there we go, strings are in tune. Now I'll check it again, and I'll do it a number of times, but by the time I'm finished, this guitar will not go out of tune, and that was what was happening with John's instrument. Once we did all of that stuff, suddenly his instrument that was out of tune was going into tune. Of course, there are intonation things that you can do as well, but unless you really know what you're doing there, be a little careful, all right? So I know there's lots of Googles out there for you to check on how to do intonation. Be gentle with yourself. Don't do things in major movements. It has to be small in terms of how you adjust, okay? All right, so now my strings are in tune and everything is sweet. I've used a little bit of lemon oil. It helps to move around an eco-friendly board, but even a rosewood board, it's a fantastic thing to put into the board. All right, so once that's all done, there you go. You've got your guitar. It's up and running. It's rolling. And, of course, this is the bottom line. Always keep your guitar in tune. And, you know, if you're playing for a long period of time, you will be tuning on a number of occasions during that gig or that period. All right, behind me here, I'll move the lemon oil over the other side now, is the fabulous Tweedtone 20. A great, great amp, this one. Here's the clean sound. There ain't anything wrong with that noise. Okay, and then of course I've also got the dirty side of this sound. So now what I'm doing is I'm plugging the overdrive in. I'm now on the bridge pickup.